Hello everyone, this is Liz with Craft to Devotion, and I'm almost ready to start trying to put some of these flowers on my wreath. But in the meantime, every time I make a flower and show you a photo, I am getting requests to show us again how to make it. Well, this is a puff flower. I do have videos on making a puff flower, but I'm going to make you another video on this particular one. And I made a pink one also. These are large. I'm making them quite large. Look how big they are. Let me see if I have a ruler around here. Let's see. This ruler is telling me this one is just almost 5 inches wide. And then this one is probably about the same. Maybe 4.5, 4 3/4, something like that. So they're about 4 to 5 inches large. And I'll show you a couple of others. I haven't shown you here. This is the one I'm thinking of putting it as a flower, like to start out with. And I think I'll put this cameo on it. And I'll put that in probably on the lower bottom part of my wreath. And it's a beautiful pink with the big large cameo. And that's my start. And then after that, I'm going to go around that with filling in with different flowers. And I may add I think I'm going to add green in there too. I was making these. I think I'm going to add some little bits of green in the background of the flowers. See, that'll look pretty. I'm going to add that when I'm putting my wreath together. And I have another green I was working with. Excuse me. So here's a organza, and I basically made the petals the same way, and then I was planning to twist them and put them in the background behind, just to add some green, because she does want green in there. Then let's see. So first I'm going to start and show you how I did this. Again, for those of you who like it fast, you guys can fast forward everything. Okay, so this is the fabric. I'm making this dusty rose one. So this is a dusty rose vintage satin, and then this is a cotton, and they're both vintage fabrics on this one. You'll see how it looks. Okay, that's both vintage fabrics. So this one is a vintage dusty rose fabric. I've already partially prepared it, and it feels like a cotton, maybe a cotton blend, but I'm not going to seal this one, like put flame on it. So you should never do that with cotton, because cotton will burn, and you might not like it. Even blends will burn. Some of them you can try them out and see if they work, but that's that fabric. And then I have, let me see what I do with the other one here. This is the dusty rose one. I thought I had a shorter piece. That is the shorter piece, I think. Yeah. Oh no, it's down here. All right, I'm using two colors. This is the dusty rose, like satiny. This is the vintage fabric. That noise is my garage door being opened and closed, because I'm here recording this in the middle of the day and my son is already here. So, and I'm going to show you what to do. So I'm going to show you on this one what to do. This one, I'll tell you how long and wide it is. It is about 10 inches long and about 4.5 inches wide. This does not have to be exact. Oh man, I forgot to turn on my hot glue gun before I started. Okay, I was taking a pause so that I could let that glue gun warm up a little bit. Hopefully it's warm, but you can use hot glue or you can use fabric tack. All right, I think it's warmed up now. So this is just a small fabric. This is going to be, if you notice, this one has two different fabrics, one on the outside and one on the inside. So this is the inside one. I wanted to give it a different feel with adding the colors. And all you're going to do is take that fabric and fold it in half. here, and then you're going to basically glue along this edge. I just did this little small one just so you can see it. I don't want you to have to, I don't want this video to get long and see all the entire project. So I'm using hot glue. If you use fabric tack, then you need to probably wait a little bit longer. It dries a little slower. So, and I try to go as close to the edge when I'm putting it on as I can. This looks crooked, but because if you go too close, you make it too wide, then let me show you. See this bottom right here? Look, I got very close on that, because I don't like this to be very wide. I want it, it will be high like this if you make them too far away. We put too much glue. So anyways, so from here, all we're going to do is cut this in strips. And I made these quite several years ago, and I have a lot of tutorials out for them, especially if you're a beginner and this is not your thing to go so fast. Then you might want to go look at my other videos, and I'll show you different ways, a lot slower for new crafters. Most of my videos in the beginning were really for new crafters, and I don't have time to do so much long videos with editing in them anymore. So I'm trying my hand right now at doing short spurts of videos depending on what I'm doing. And so what I do is, for this particular one, it's very close to, I'm making them about 1/4 of an inch, between 1/4 inch and 1/2 of an inch. Sometimes I make them wider depending on what kind of fabric I'm looking at and what look I want. So this one, making it very thin, makes it really, really pretty. I'm going to show you though, this is a satin fabric. It doesn't fray as much as the pink one below. Can you see how I'm getting crooked? I just sometimes start straightening it out, or it's all right if it's not like a perfection. Can you see how close I'm getting? That one's a little too close. I'm getting very close to the end, so when I glue again, it's gonna flare out more. The wider you have it there, the more, so you know yourself. Now that I got these new scissors that I have that actually cut well, I can kind of use these scissors and go right up to there, and I cut all the way through the tip. It has made this job a lot easier. When I do this, a lot of times I will fold my fabrics in half, but I don't always do that. It does take a while to go and cut them all. And like I said, it's up to you how far down you go, but mine are pretty low. Okay, I'm almost done here. Even this little fabric is taking a while. I'm going to show you the difference of when we first rolled this one up. I'm going to show you the difference between this satin fabric, which is a vintage dusty rose satin fabric, where I found, you know, a few yards of it at a thrift store. I like to go to the thrift stores and look for fabric, because they have the vintage ones, and they usually sell them for, you know, $2 a yard, or $1 a yard, or, you know, whatever. So now I did that. Okay, usually at this point when I do this, then I go like this, and I shabby it up, because I like the little shabbies to come out. But this fabric is so nice that it doesn't get that many frays. But look at this one, how pretty this is. See all the shabbiness? Because this beautiful pink fabric that I did the same thing with, this one I used all pink. I didn't put a different color in the middle. And it's a light satin. This is not like the cheapest satin you get at, but the cheapest satin that you get like at Walmart or something like that. That one works well too. I mean, it's got a lot of fraying, so it just will have a different texture. This is a little bit higher up, and this one's really thick. This is one of that thick satin fabric, and it's got a very matte sheen to it. But anyway, so then what I do is I usually leave a little bit of a center in the middle, and usually with the pin, a pin fits through it. See that? So you can decide if you want to make a hole, because I end up usually putting some bling in it, but even when you don't put the bling in it, it still covers the whole thing. You see that? You can't even see the hole. But this is how I do it. Since there have been I learned to make a puff flower by watching other crafters. I can't even think of the person I learned this from before, but they wouldn't make it like I am, rolling it on around like this. They would make them more flat, which you can do that also, but of course it'll change the look. And I would probably make this, it would probably wouldn't work very well with this long of a thing. You might want to change your fabric to a bit less. And so you can see I'm going pretty close to the edge there, because I don't want a big old giant bottom. So you can see this would be really thick. If I stayed 1/4 of an inch, it would be 1/4 of an inch thick. But I'm actually staying less. I'm probably staying about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. And you just roll it. And you can see how pretty it looks. So this one's not really long. I decided to just mimic like the colors I see in real flowers, where the inside of the flower shows a little bit different color, and this is how I did it. And the colors are kind of close, but not exactly, and I have both of these in colors I'm going to place in the wreath. So there. All right, so now you can make it just this small. That was 10 inches of this nice, beautiful, thick fabric. And you can see, it makes a nice puffy flower. It almost looks like a one for gift wrapping. And you can actually shabby it up more here. Can you see that? It's actually pretty wide. If you leave it like this, it is already about 4 inches. So it could be used. I use the smaller one. Sometimes it's tucked. So let's say I put this flower in my wreath and I want to add a little bit of this color. I might put a small one like this on the inside. But we're going to go bigger. And what I did is I took the other fabric and I already started cutting it. As you can see, this one's very long because I'm probably not going to use it all, because I don't want it as big as this one was. I'm going to tell you how long this strip is though, that I already cut up. I use the same procedure. Let me tell you how long it is. It's usually just the length of the fabric I'm using. So this one is just over 1 yard long. So now, even if these fall off and they tear off, you can always glue them right back. Just glue them on. So now I'm going to just continue on with where I left off. It's really not that big of a deal. Usually when I start, I'll put it on that. And you can see how close I got to that one. Okay. So now I'm just adding a second color. And this one is just you can change the width that you cut these. So if you make it thinner, it's going to be a smaller, going to maybe look a lot more like a carnation. But this one I'm making big with long strips. Okay. See? Now I'm going to keep on doing that and I'll come back. Well, I'm nearing the end now. Let me see. I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things, like other places you can find fabric. When I first started crafting, I had very little supplies, and I don't really like to spend, I'm a pretty frugal person. And so I don't like to spend a lot of money, and so I started using what I had around. Like I'd go to an old blouse or an old men's shirt, and I'd use that. Old t-shirt that I'm not going to use anymore. Sometimes we have brand new t-shirts we're not going to wear, or shirts that we're not going to wear, or I would look at the linens. I think I have a budget video where I teach you how to do this using just one piece of fabric and something from your home. I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to cut it off here because I want to have a little bit left over to use as small little pieces later. I'm going to roll them and use them as insert pieces, you know. Sometimes when I'm designing, I need a little bit of that color someplace. So here we go. You can see how pretty this one is. And you can go, depending on your fabric, it may shabby up and like fall apart and give you a shabby flower. And you can do it before, or you can like I do a lot of times, or after, depending on your fabrics. So let's see, let's put you down. It's close to this one. This one's a little bit bigger, but it's pretty big. Let me find, where's my ruler? This one came out about wrong. I get close to 5, about 4 3/4. And then you can grab any kind of bling, a button if you want to add it, but it doesn't even need it. If you can see that, it doesn't need it. You can I usually take that center that I started, and I look for the center anyway. See if I can find it. There you go. There you go. I found the center. See, I'll usually find the center, and then if you put a big bling in there, it'll make it look a lot flatter. See, this is a large brooch. See how that looks? It's beautiful. Or you can put something smaller. This is just a little gold jewel, and add it in there. I have my window open because my son is playing outside, and I think something's making me sneeze. So there it is. And then the next flower I'm thinking about making, which would be these flowers. This is a really big one, but this is a big one and a little smaller one right on top of it. You can use different fabrics. The other one I'm thinking I just made this one. This is out of organza. So I'm using the same my olive technique on both of these, and this one I just made a big one like this, and then I made one that was smaller. I don't know if I have smaller ones around here. Another smaller one. Oh wait, I didn't show you this one. Yeah, and here's this one made with that same fabric. And so I could take this small beautiful one that's small, and it's the satin, and place it on top like that, and make a even more dimensional flower, just like this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave this one this way, but we'll see what happens. This is Liz's Crafty Devotion. Can you please make sure that you comment below and you share these videos with your friends? This helps my channel to get bigger, and then maybe I'll be encouraged to keep on making videos of my crafting. And again, my shop is craftydevotion.etsy.com, and I have a lot of laces and trims and other embellishments, and some of my handmade things are in there, my dress kits. And the best deals I have is right now I have a 10% off. You can ask me about that. If I forget to put it in the description box, I'm going to try and put it in the last videos I've made in the description box. And you can ask me on Etsy or someplace else, and I can give it to you. I think I have it on my Facebook page. And if you order $35 or more, then in your domestic, then the shipping will be deducted at checkout. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I will talk to you guys next time.